viewers. Thank you so much for joining the live. I am here with homebody Trish, and she is going to be doing 20 questions with Jay. How you feeling about this, girl?
I'm feeling pretty good.
That
Not too bad. Not too bad. I thought I was going.
is
At first, I
amazing.
wasn't nervous at all, but then, like as the date got closer, I'm like, wait. I'm,
You know what? A lot of people literally kind of felt the same way. So I'm not even shocked about it. But don't worry, it's okay. You ready for these questions?
I guess. I guess. I was just watching your live earlier. I missed the. I was catching a replay from. I think it was yesterday. With
Mm-hmm.
is it Early Bird?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, these questions are hard. So hopefully, I don't have no hard questions. But yeah.
All right, girl. Let's get to it.
Okay.
So, question number one.
hmm
What made you want to start YouTube?
Um, the quick, simple answer is all right, so I'm like super into home decor. I was talking to like my mom, my friends, my husband, everybody about it, and none of them seemed as interested as me. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I need to find people who like what I like. So I kind of started YouTube to really talk about home decor and just things like that. But I'm kind of branching off from just home decor. But I started to find like minded people. Yep.
Okay, yeah, I feel that. Speaking of like home decor, I seen that you had made a video that was about like a year ago. It was titled Home Update, Chit Chat, Amazon Things, Bedroom Update. And in that video, you kind of talked about how you had got off of work and he was really tired and you had to take your kids to like the game and you wanted to go to Wawa and get yourself a coffee. And I guess it was the first time you ever had an espresso,
Oh my gosh. Yes.
and it kept you up to like really late at night. And you was talking about how when you was still up, you wanted to go and clean your bathrooms and like paint and stuff like that. So for you to actually like have that thought in your mind, would you ever want to be like an interior designer?
That's so funny. If my husband is watching, he's probably like, "Yes, you do." So the thing. This is the thing. I love home decor. Like I really like it. I can do it all day long. Like we can go to stores and we can look and we can shop. And when my friends or family ask me for like suggestions, I'm like jumping for joy. Like, yes, I can help you. But
Right.
I think I love interior design for myself. And I love it to like give my suggestions, but I don't think I would love it if I was getting paid for it.
Mm,
I think that would take for me, I think that would take the fun out of it just because it would I like it for fun. So doing it for money would make it I would be living up to others' expectations and that's not really why I like to do it. I like
yeah.
to just offer suggestions if you want them and I just like to decorate for myself.
I feel that, girl. I really do. So does it bring you like peace? And is that like your calm place when you want to just clear your head? You start like doing things like that, like moving things around. It kind of takes away from everything else that you're thinking about.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. It just depends on so if there's a different levels for me. So if I'm just merely picking out stuff to like decorate a house, then yes, that's peaceful. Or if I'm picking out things to like finish, like if we're in the middle of a renovation, which I feel like in my life we always are, um, that's not as peaceful.
Mm. Okay.
Like
I
cleaning and
definitely get
stuff, like
that.
I really like it's therapeutic for me. So yeah.
Okay. So the next question I have for you here is you kind of somewhat like journaled your pregnancy
hmm
throughout your page at one point. What was your favorite part about your pregnancy and what was your worst?
Hmm. My favorite part about my pregnancy, I would have to say to finally be able to have a home birth. Like I've had multiple children, and I since the first one I've wanted to have a home birth, and I never did it for one
Mm-hmm.
reason or another. So to actually be able to go through with what I wanted to do initially, with my last, it was like that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband wants us to be able to do a home birth too. And we actually went all the way to, I forgot where it was, but this one girl on YouTube, she speaks on things like that. So we went to a seminar
Mhm.
and it was amazing. We flew all the way out there for a seminar and it was so educational. I was so happy that we went. So
You said
yeah, it was
you wanted to
dope.
do home birth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, it's I don't know. It's really nice because you're the director. You know what I mean? It's you
Right.
the director,
Exactly.
and it's you should be because it's your body. Like when I had a hospital birth, it was just how can I say this? I just wasn't the director, and I think that I wanted to be. I had like my birth plan and everything listed on how I wanted things to go. But when you're
Hmm.
in pain, you're not in that you're not operating it at your full capacity. So when they're saying, oh, here's the epidural, this can help you get out of pain, or this, if you don't have the support that you need, it's kind of hard to get through it alone.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
a home birth, one, you're going to mentally prepare for it, and then two, if you have like a doula or a midwife or whatever, y'all are all on the same wavelength. So it's a lot easier
Hmm.
when you have that support behind you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next question I have for you here is, what's the scariest thing you think about when you think about your kids?
I'm sorry, I was reading the comments. You said, what's the scariest thing? What?
What's the scariest thing you think about when you think about your kids?
What's the scariest thing I think about when I think about my kids? I guess at this point, at this stage of my life, it would be to not have them.
Hmm.
But on a daily basis, I just think about nothing. I was going to say on a daily basis, I just think about all the chores I'm telling them to do that they don't do. Their rooms being dirty. But the scariest thing I think about is like for us when it comes to my kids is to like not have them.
Okay. So the next question I have for you here is, if you were an actor and you had to cry on set, what would you think about to help you carry out that role?
If I had to cry on set, I think to get myself to cry, I think I would be thinking about my kids. The same thing. That'd probably be the same answer, or just
Yeah.
like losing someone close to me, like my family.
Hmm.
But I don't. Yeah, I think that would be something that could get me to cry on cue.
Hmm. Yeah, for me, it would definitely be like losing a loved one. Like when I do have kids, it definitely will be that. But for right now, it's definitely losing a loved one. I would hate
Mhm.
that. All right. So the next question I have for you here is, what's the worst song you've ever heard in your opinion?
The worst song that I've heard. So the first thing that just popped up into my head was, "Ooh, nah, nah, what's your name?" I don't know why.
That is so funny.
Sure, that's for sure not the worst song, but that's the one that just popped in my head. Dang, some of the stuff that comes on the radio right now, like a lot of the stuff that comes on the radio right now, it's just like unfiltered. I feel like those are not the best songs. I like older music.
I like older music too,
Yeah.
but I feel like the radio just kind of makes you get sick of it because you hear it so like often on repeat, stand there like all day, and it makes you kind of tired of it.
Mm.
All right, so the next question I have for you here is, what is your favorite food to make and why?
Mm, my favorite food to make. It depends on what mood I'm in, but I would say my favorite food to make would be lasagna.
Mm,
More so because I mean I like it, but like that's something that everybody in my house likes. So
yeah.
that would be the why. It's a easy meal. Well, it's layers to it, but for the most part, it's kind of straightforward to me.
Yeah, it is. I love anything pasta. Like I'm a pasta head for real. So
That's
that's right up my alley.
but that's the problem.
Yeah.
Trying to stay away from it.
Okay. So the next question I have for you here is, have you ever told a lie that you regretted?
I say honestly, I would have to think about maybe when I was like a kid, because I feel like us as adults, we don't really have a reason to lie. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, what are you lying for? Are you
Mm-hmm.
typically people?
Yeah, that would definitely be back then.
You're trying to cover something or you're scared or something, but as an adult, I'm not. I don't have. I don't really lie. It's nothing to lie about. So I can't say that I regret it because I don't do it.
Right.
Or
Okay.
I guess we can go here. I don't. I think forward thinking. I know one time my like, you know how you saw like the little white lies around the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think in the maybe in the future, once my older kids realized that what it was, I kind of regretted it just because it was like at some point, like when they first found out, it was like, oh, y'all were telling a story. But so I kind of regret not telling the truth. But I mean, it was a white lie. So
Yeah, my husband, he speaks on that sometimes when we have conversations. And he said when we have kids, he's going to tell them straight up, like,
my
Santa Claus ain't real, the Tooth Fairy ain't real, because you're not about to come to me and ask me about this and that. So I completely understand where he was coming from with that. So yeah, and I get what you're saying about, like, how you felt when they probably had said that. Hmm.
my husband ex, I mean, kind of feels like that too.
Yeah. So the next question I have for you here is, if a zombie apocalypse was to break out today, what would be your reaction and what would be the first thing you'll do?
If apocalypse, a zombie apocalypse was to break out, what would I do? I would be trying to find some protection, and I would be grabbing my family.
Hmm.
That's it. That's the simple answer.
It's so wild to me because they actually have, I don't know what that thing is that's supposed to be in the Oval Office in the White House, but they actually have something that tells the president what to do in case of a zombie apocalypse.
Mhm.
And I think it's so weird how so many like billionaires have built like bunkers like underground and things like that, like they be knowing in their little circle, but they don't be saying nothing until like the moment it happens and
What
stuff,
was
and it
that
just be so
movie?
wild.
What movie was that? They had like a whole house under the I can't. I'm not
I
gonna.
know what you're talking about. I just can't remember.
I know.
I
And the little girl,
definitely
like
seen it before though.
the little girl was trying to warn the family the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah. So probably similar.
Yes. Oh, that movie that came out. It came out like probably what was it, last year or the year
Like,
before or
like maybe
something?
2 or 3 years.
Um Shoot, I can't remember. But that was the one that was produced by the Obamas.
Yeah. Yep. It was recent.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so wild. Yeah. All right. The next question I have for you here is, describe your dream home.
I know. Oh, I'm sorry. Reading the comments. Queen's Alchemy said, "Where's the moderator, sis?" Because they're out of control. Mm, but I'm sorry. Go ahead. What did you say?
The question that I had asked was, describe your dream home.
My dream home, aesthetically or just in general.
Like whatever you would wish your dream home would look like.
So my dream home would be on probably like 10 to 20 acres. It would, and then I would have like, so I have like a dream community. So my dream home would probably be on about 10 or 12 acres, and then my home specifically would have probably like 5 to 6 bedrooms. Probably have like 5 to 6 bedrooms so that all my kids can have a room. I would have one on the main level so that once I get older, I don't have to walk up and down the steps. Just would have a nice game room, theater, just space for everyone. It would have a pool, basketball court, and then I would want a lot of acres because I would want to build smaller homes on it for my family.
Yeah. Mhm. I'm glad that you was able to think about the future and just think about everything that can that's kind of like building a compound, almost like what Early Bird was talking about yesterday, somewhat of what she was talking about yesterday, but for your family, which is gonna be really dope. So I like that.
Because
Mhm.
I want them out the house eventually, but they don't have to. They don't have to go that far.
Yeah, they can go right in the backyard and stay over there and come home when they're ready.
Yep.
Ciao. Okay. So the next question I have for you here is what pisses you off?
Mm, smacking when people smack on their food. When people smack on their food, when I have to say the same thing over and over again, when people lie, I think those are probably my top three.
Hmm.
But yeah.
I can definitely agree with those for real.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, thank you so much for tuning into the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I'm here with Homebody Trish. Please make sure to go over to her page and subscribe and check out her videos, you guys, okay? So, the next question I have for you here is what do you think people should not be able to see online?
Should not be able to see online. Um, anything really derogatory, really. So it'd be like violence, like things that are sexually explicit, just those type of things. Yeah, I just feel like you shouldn't be able to see it online.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. And I kind of thought that was what you was going to say when I asked you to. All right, the next question I have for you here is what is something you consider too serious to joke about and why?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you. So right now
Mm.
I'm in Atlanta. I was telling my husband this story. So I'm in line. Don't you know, like when you're about to get on the plane, but like it's like a tunnel. Like you're boarding the plane when you're boarding.
Yeah.
We're in line and we're boarding. It's like this she was in her 20s because she said it. She's like her mid 20s. She was talking about the plane crashing. She was like
What?
she was like it would, she was like, yeah, I was arrested like 16 times, and one of them one of them was for arson, and it would be really cool if this plane crashed.
What?
I was so irritated. I was so bothered.
I
Like
would have been bothered too. And I think anybody that would have heard that, especially she's not thinking about people that's around that's flying for the first time, like what you can do as far as anxiety,
exactly.
that can throw people into certain like ways.
So I don't know. That's the first thing I thought about when you asked that question. But it was just like, why
Hmm.
would she? And then out of the whole plane, guess where she sat?
Next to you,
Right. I said,
right behind you,
I said, you
child.
can't make it up. You cannot make it up. But yeah, so I just feel like people shouldn't joke about stuff like that. And it's a time.
Yeah.
It's like talk about that when you get off the plane in your own area. She's like people. Everybody was around, and these two people were talking. They just so loud. I was like, oh my god. Mm, 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 mm. So I
That's
feel
for
like
real.
you shouldn't joke about that, especially in this day and time.
Yeah, especially in this day and time.
So.
Hmm. All right. The next question that I have here for you is how do you know whether it's time to continue holding on or time to let go?
I feel like you'll feel it in your soul. I feel
I
like
think so too.
you're gonna feel it, and if we're talking about like people or just like it could be anything, jobs, people, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just something in you that you're gonna. It's hard to explain because it's a feeling.
Hmm.
It's something that you're gonna feel, And a lot of times people we as people we know that we're supposed to move on, but we don't like it. We don't like a
Mhm.
lot of people don't like change. So it's like, oh, I'd rather deal with this uncomfortable situation or this uncomfortable person or whatever it is because I know what to expect from them. I know
Yeah.
what uncomfortable, what discomfort they're going to bring versus going out and venturing off to the world to other discomforts with which in fact may not even be uncomfortable. They may be exactly what you need. It may be the peace that you're looking for.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just feel like the signs around you are going to tell you whether you need to move on or not.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a great answer. So the next question I have for you here is, what do you consider your core values?
Mm, I think my core values would be honesty, like respect, um, transparent, like just being transparent. So, and
Yeah.
just be like having I don't know. I think those are probably my top three for us.
Yeah. No, those are definitely some good ones for sure. All right. So the next question I have for you here is,
Exactly,
what
Jake.
is the difference between living and existing to you?
Oh my gosh. Living and existing. I feel like when people make like a list of things that they want to do in life, like when they're dreaming, when you're journaling at night or during the day, whenever you're journaling and you're writing down, or that those those New Year resolutions that we write every year. I feel like that's the list of living. Like those are the things that when you accomplish those things that then you're truly living. Existing is just that mundane going through the daily, just going through the daily rigmarole just to get through pretty much. I feel like
Hmm.
you're living when you are going to sleep at night fully, like going to sleep at night satisfied.
Yeah.
Today was a good day and not going to sleep like today was hard and I'm
Hmm.
exhausted and like doing that daily. That's just existing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one. I like that question.
Thank you. So the next question I have for you here is, what have you given up on that you wish you kept going?
Hmm. One thing that I've semi given up on, I can't say completely, because that was I was actually going to say that when you were listing, like when I was listing my core values, it's just kind of like to not give up, really. So I don't. Some things. One of the things that I think I've given up on is becoming a midwife. So
Mhm.
I'm a nurse by profession, and I became a nurse because I wanted to be a midwife, and I stopped years ago just because life and it's not fitting in my life right now. But I kind of wish I would have kept going because I think in the future it will be something that I want to do, like in the next 10 to 15 years. So I wish I would have kept going
Okay.
with that. And I mean, I may. That's something I'm still pondering. It's up in the air.
Okay. Yeah. I actually like that. They're definitely, I feel like, required in this world because it's kind of hard for like females going to the hospital and having their baby there. It's more comfortable, like you were saying before, to be able to have your baby at home where you're like at peace and not having your newborn exposed to all this light and just all type of stuff. Girl, I don't want to dig too deep because I could talk about a lot when it comes to that, child.
Yep.
But yeah. So the next question I have for you here is, what impact do you want to leave on the world?
Hmm. That's a good one that I feel like I need to think about
Yeah.
because thinking about an impact that I want to leave on the world is one thing because I don't think about that on a daily basis, and that's something that's like, oh, I probably should think about that. I think about the impact that I want to leave on my children.
Mm-hmm.
So to think about the world, I guess maybe it would be similar. No, but it wouldn't when I think about it. I don't know. All right. So I think the impact that I would want to leave on the world is just like peace. Like just whatever you do, bring peace, be a light, like don't be a burden. Don't always like be someone who's taking like give. Just I don't know. I feel like what I would that's what I want more out of
Yeah.
in the world. I feel like that's what we need.
Yeah. I feel like enough, like more peace in this world will definitely like clear out a lot of bad spirits for sure. Hmm. So the next question I have here for you is, what is worse than death to you?
Um, what is worse than death? Probably just like living in an unhappy state. Yeah, I think that's my short answer.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that. Because some people, when they're so unhappy, they literally would just kind of
Choose that
wish they would die. You know what I'm saying?
'cause that
So
takes.
they would rather do that than to be living the life that they do. So I understand
Mhm.
when it comes to that answer for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm. Thank you guys so much for being here on the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I'm here with Homebody Trish. Please make sure to go onto her page and subscribe and check out her content, okay? So, the next question that I have for you here is, when you were younger, what is the last prank call that you remember?
Prank call. I feel like the only prank call I used to have on was like April Fools, and it was all one thing like, oh, I'm pregnant. But now I feel like that's not a prank call; it's real life. I don't know. I think I would have to say that when I was younger, it was like the April Fool's joke,
Hmm.
like prank.
Yeah, that was it for a lot of people for sure.
I know.
Can you spell your channel name for the people in the chat?
Yep, Queen's Alchemy. Just put it down there. It's Homebody
Okay.
Home HOME body. Well, it's all one word. HOMEBODY Trish TRISH.
All right. So, the next question I have for you here is, if today was your last day alive, if you didn't know, how would you feel about today if today was your last day? Would you be satisfied with what you did today?
I think so. The only thing I would be satisfied with what I did today because it was peaceful. I just read. I did some editing. I slept in. I did some relaxing. I, I ate. That made me happy. So I did things that make me happy. The only thing is I wasn't with my kids today, so I wouldn't be satisfied. Well, not even my kids and my husband, my family. So I wouldn't be satisfied with that aspect, but everything else will be good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So the next question I have for you here is, if you was to start your YouTube channel over, what would you do different?
Hmm. If I was to start my YouTube channel over, I probably number one, I would be consistent from day one. I would be consistent from day one, and then two, I don't think I would do that over. I was gonna say I think I would pick a niche and just stick with it, when I started my YouTube channel, I wanted to talk, like I told you before, more so about like home renovations. Like we're in the process of renovating our home. So I wanted to document that process. I wanted to talk about home decor and just stuff like that. I have ventured off and I'm enjoying just like talking about like the lifestyle type vlogs, putting home decor inside of that and the renovations like as they come. So I want to say I would probably split up the channels, maybe have like a lifestyle channel and then one that's just focused on like home renovations and home decor, possibly. But I honestly, and I'm saying that because I considered it before, like breaking it up. But my channel is Homebody Trish, so this is me. Like I'm not broken up. I'm not like, oh, over here on this channel doing this thing. Like my life is what I present. So I don't think I would do anything different in that aspect. As I thought about it, I would be consistent from day one.
Hmm. Yeah. Consistency is definitely key. And you see faster growth with you being in the face of the viewer consistently, like often.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually they'll say like, oh, this person is like on here for real. Let me click on them and see what's going on.
Yep.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the
So
things that I
mm-hmm.
think also when you're starting a YouTube channel is picking something that you can be consistent with.
Yeah.
So when I started, I wanted to talk about home decor and home renovations because that's what I enjoyed. But it's kind of hard to I found it to be hard to talk about home renovations consistently because we're not consistently renovating. Like,
Yeah.
it's a process to get things done. So at that time period, I had things to talk about. But once that's done, we don't jump directly into another project, if that makes sense.
Right.
I mean, I feel
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Yeah. When I see a lot of other people's page that do like home decor and stuff, I feel like what they do to fill in the gaps is like show you like ways of creating new items, like dye items for like a piece for a table set, or
mm,
like how to like redecorate like your kitchen cabinets, like show you like the newest brand of dishes. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's things that you're just like pulling up online, or like probably like giving an explanation of like a luxury type of style. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's a lot of different things, but it also depends on how you want to do it, because some people do like to actually physically show you everything, and some people don't mind like sitting and like having the conversation and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I've considered that too.
Hmm.
I just haven't dived all the way into that, but I think that's a something that I need to consider because I just put it out there as far as like what's going on. Like this is it. All right, now once y'all know that, that's it. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I could show you the 25 times that we went to the store. I'm only showing you what we picked from the store when we went there, but like
Right.
we went there 25 times. So I guess I could show like the behind the scenes a little bit more.
Mm. Okay. So the next question that I have for you here is, what is your favorite home decor store?
Hmm. I feel like that's a two-part question for me. So my
Okay, you can break it
favorite
down.
store right now, because I change often, but my favorite store that I like to go to, like I like their items, is Restoration Hardware. They're a little pricey, so I don't go there often. But I like that they have like large items. Like it fills the area nicely. So that's what I like about that store. But I would say my favorite store probably is Home Goods. They have nice items too, and it's affordable and they change over a lot. Meaning, so like when you go there today, if you go next week, they may not have the same item. And I like
Mm,
that. I have a love hate relationship with that because I miss out on a lot of items because I want to think about it. When I come back, they're gone. But
mhm.
I love that they don't make a lot of the same items. So you're not going to see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
They
I
remake a
like that too.
yeah, they make a lot. They remake a lot of items, but if you see something different in there, you got to grab it the first time.
Yeah. I would prefer it that way because I don't want people having the exact same thing that I have in my house, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Or even if they have it, I just enjoy everybody doing what they like. Like that's child. I just enjoy everybody tapping into their own individuality because even if we have the same item, we don't have to style it the same exact way. Like,
Mhm.
so I like the creative part of home decor.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Queen wants to know how I'm liking the DJI. You so
Mhm.
I just got it, girl. I so far, honestly, I've only used it for that one vlog that I posted today, and then I've been using it like on this trip that I'm on now. I am enjoying it. It's making me feel like so much, and it's right here, y'all. It's right here. I it's like when I'm walking around with it. Okay, I have both of my cameras here. So I don't normally walk around with this light on this one. But like when I'm walking around with this, it's just like it's a camera. Like you have to be comfortable,
Mm.
you have to like be confident in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, I'm here and what but I don't feel like that. I feel like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't see my camera. But I know that everybody does. So I kind of like don't like taking it out. But this one, child, I was in the airport putting it on the wall, walking up to it like, yes,
Yeah.
it looked like a camera to me. So I think mentally, I just like it one for that reason, and then I like that it has like the setting where I can I can like tap on an object. So let's say I want to be in the screen, I can tap it and then it'll follow me. I like that aspect about it. So if y'all also looked at my last video, I had my son like holding the camera for me. I always ask my family members to like help me out with the recording. So like
Mm.
this camera, I won't have to really do that too often because it's gonna follow me. So
Yeah,
like
that's what I love about it.
I like that feature. Yep, yep. And then there's some other features that I've YouTube. I just haven't mastered yet. And it's like bring a little different, some different effects to the video. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And it's new, so it's just like a new tool. I like it right now because it's different. And the quality is good too. So it's small, it's compact, the quality is good. All right, that's enough about that because at this point they just need to sponsor me.
Nah, I feel it. Yeah. I've seen so many people have it. The first time that I've actually seen that camera was when I was watching De'Ara. She had got it. And that was like a couple years ago when she had got it. And I was like, dang, that camera is nice. Like, yeah, I need to go and cop me one. But
Hmm.
I love the fact that it's like so just like light and barely even there. It's smaller than how it is with your phone. I
Hmm.
wouldn't even mind the bigger camera either, child, because I don't be having no problem
Look, yo,
having to record myself. But that is the bigger camera does make you feel a bit more like uncomfortable when you're in public. But for me, I wouldn't mind because I don't get all that shot at all. But I understand completely. But I would definitely want to pick the DJI as well, for sure.
but I will say the
Mhm.
only thing with the bigger camera that makes me uncomfortable is making other people uncomfortable. If that makes sense.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
when people see a camera out, they think you're recording them, and it's just like I don't want them to think that they're going to be in my videos. Like like just recording them without their permission. So that's why I don't like really having a camera out. But if somebody's just looking at me doing recording myself, like I don't care too much about that. Like that doesn't bother me. I just don't like when I have my camera out and I'm like looking at stuff in the store and they're possibly in my, you know, in frame.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here on the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I'm here with Homebody Trish. Please make sure to go and subscribe and check out her content, okay? And also, Trish, for anyone that does not know, can you please explain to them what your content is about?
Yes. So on my channel, I discuss a little bit of everything, but mostly I'm interested in talking about and just displaying different type of home decor, different type of food. I like showing like the different foods that I make just because sometimes I'm looking up recipes and I'm trying different things and I know food, I just feel like it's one of them things that everybody, it works everybody's nerves because we're hungry every day and we never know what we want to eat. So sometimes I'm showing different food just to like for suggestions on like, oh, maybe, just quick suggestions. And I love like quick meals because for I know for me I have I have 5 children and I can't always make long meals, but I want my food to taste good. Like eating at the end of the day is one of the highlights of my day. Like I look forward to having a nice meal at the end of the day.
Yeah, me too, definitely.
So yes. So on my channel, in short, talk about home decor. Just it's like a lifestyle channel.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. So the next question I have for you here is, if somebody was to come up to you and ask you, what would you tell them as far as giving them a life lesson to carry on in their life and beyond?
Hmm. Be confident in the decisions that you make and follow through with them. That's it. I
Mm,
feel like in today's time, there are so many distractions and there are so many opinions on what you want to do. Like, individual, like, everybody's, there's so many distractions in life that sometimes we steer off of our path that we know that we steer off of our path that we set for ourselves.
mm-hmm.
So my advice would be pick what it is that you want to do, what you want to accomplish, how you want to live your life, and follow through with it. Don't be persuaded with social media. Don't be persuaded with what your mom says, what your dad says, what your brother, your sister,
Mm-hmm.
your kids, your husband, your wife. Do what it is that you want to do. Definitely
Mm-hmm.
take everything into consideration, but
Yeah.
also always remember the source too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
that's definitely a good one for
Joseph
sure.
said it. Be yourself. Don't be a follower. I feel like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, don't be a follower. Have emphasis on don't be a follower. Exactly. Do you? So that would be my suggestion. And then I feel like if you do that, if you follow through with that, even if you do miss or you fall short in life, you won't fall short on the opinions of others. You know what I mean? It'll be, oh, I made this decision, and you can see where it is that you did something wrong or you could do it better next time. Not, oh, I fell short because I was listening to you and I didn't do it my way. Make a decision, do what you want to do in life, and follow through.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So the next question I have for you here is, if you was given a free ticket to go to any concert of your choice, who would it be and why?
I'm going to a few concerts, but number one, I cried when Luther died because
Oh.
I was in college. I didn't get to go. I remember I'm saying I was in college because I remember when I found out I was in college and my friends, like, I was in one of their dorm rooms and they told me, and I walked out and I went to my dorm and cried because I did not. It was for selfish reasons because I love his music and I never made it to a concert and I wanted to go. Like I wanted to see him in concert. So yeah, I definitely would be going to see Luther, and then yeah, I would love to mix some neo soul in there too.
I love Neil. I feel like he's so underrated, especially now.
You talk about Neo the artist?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about neo soul like the genre.
Oh.
I
Oh,
love
I don't think I know him.
I like Neo. No, I like Neo too. Hmm.
All right. So the next question I have for you here is, if love didn't exist, how would you show your compassion?
Through food.
That's a good one.
I
You're so
really did.
funny.
I'm so mad. Sometimes me and my husband are, well, obviously we're different, but like sometimes my husband he'll make a meal, and when I'm eating it, sometimes I'm like, you didn't cook this with love. Sometimes you can feel it. Like if you can't like, I feel like you can show your love through you can show your love through food. Like when you taste something good, you like, oh, you put something in this. You took your time with this one. So I
I
was
know, right?
definitely.
All right. So the next question I have for you here is, if you was on a boat and you fell into the ocean where there were sharks like waiting on the bottom, and you had the option to pull someone else down in order for you to come up, what would you
Mm,
do?
mm. I would have if I had to pull someone down in order for me to come up. I think I would take one for the team. I don't think I would pull anybody down. I don't have anyone in mind that I would pull down. Like I don't hate anybody, but to pull them down, I would just take one for the team and I think I don't know why I'm about to cry. But that's really that's a hard question, but I like that question
Mhm.
because I feel like for you to answer it and say that I'm sorry. I'm looking at a text message just came through. I'm cracking up. But for you to pull someone else down, like I feel like you have to hate them. I don't hate anyone. And the last impression that I would want to leave for my children is that my mom didn't pull anybody down. You know, she
Mhm.
sacrificed her life for others. So I think I would just be taking one for the team.
Mhm.
And
That's really
I
like
hope
sweet
I
of
poured
you.
enough into the people around me that they would be good without me.
Yeah, you would definitely leave a long, like, lasting impression on a lot of people for sure. Hmm. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I'm here with Homebody Trish. Please make sure to go and subscribe to her page and check out her content, okay? So the next question I have for you here is, if you was in sports, which one would you do?
You better run for it. I'm definitely gonna do track. I ran track in high school and I love it. I love it. I think it builds so much grit in just in sports in general. It just to me it makes for a well-rounded person. You learn a lot. That's why. You push yourself to limits that you didn't know that you can attain and even when you want to give up, you don't. And then often, I know, even with me with track, I quit so many times because I wasn't running 2 and 3 miles when I was already tired, and my track coach was telling me to do so. But you have people around you that's pulling and rooting for you, and you stick with it. And in life,
Mhm.
you want to surround yourself with those people who aren't going to let you fall
Mhm.
just because you want to give up because you want to be tired and lazy. It's like, no, get to it. Let's go, sis.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. I never done track, but I feel like that keeps you so energized. Like having to run like that, you definitely have to like eat healthy and
Mm,
just be on your A game, having to do all of that because people are dependent on you to be able to keep up and do your best so that they'll be able to take on their challenge when they're ready to like go around like how it is in the Olympics.
yep.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I love it.
Yeah. So the next question I have for you here is, if you was a car, which one would you be?
Hmm. Everything is like a two-part question. But if I was a car, I think I would be physically I would be a Honda, but at heart I would be a Bentley.
I like that. I would definitely say a Honda too because their engines last for so long.
Yes. So I would say
Hmm.
Honda just because they're trustworthy, they're, trustworthy, reliable, dependable, all those things. Um, Affordable, but I would say Bentley at heart because just like that luxurious interior and exterior, but more so the luxury of the interior. I like BMW interior. Some of them, some I mean not BMW, Benz, their interior too. So either like a Benz or a Bentley at heart, but I would be a Honda.
Mm, okay. So this question here that I have for you is your last question.
Okay.
So this question here is, if somebody broke into your house, but before they did, they cut off your phone lines, your electricity, everything that you can use to contact the outside world, what would your first reaction be if you knew that they disabled everything?
They disabled everything as far as like being contacted to the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if they broke in my house and I couldn't contact anyone else for help, I'm going to help myself. I'm going to help and protect myself. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's how that would go.
Yeah. No words have to be said about that. We already know they gonna have to get up out of there.
One way or
They
another.
gonna have to get up out of there. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here on the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I'm here with Homebody Trish. Please make sure to go over to her page and subscribe and check out her content, okay? Is there anything that you would like to say?
I just want to say thank you for having me on your platform. This was fun. This is helping me to step outside of my comfort zone. I am, excuse me, naturally an introvert, but I will say YouTube has slowly is slowly making me an extrovert also. So I just want to thank you for having me on your platform. Thank those in the chat for joining. Thank you to those who will join later. And the last thing, if you guys are into, like home decor, lifestyle type of vlogs, definitely check out my channel and we can go from there.
Yes, girl. And real quick before you go, what is that you sipping on? Because that looks good.
Um, this is red wine. This is Malbec. It's like a dry wine. So
Mm.
that's what I have. I'm
Yes,
actually,
girl.
yeah, I'm actually getting ready to go get something to eat. Like I said earlier, I was taking it slow, so I really didn't eat much. But I want to go out and get something to eat and probably another drink.
I don't even blame you, girl. Yes. Well, I hope you stay warm when you do go out there, girl, because it is cold out here.
Honestly, I walked out like before I got on here. I did. I walked to like the CVS and I didn't have a coat on. You're not gonna believe I forgot my coat. Because
Ciao.
excuse me, when I was home, I was like packed. I was rushing and I had on my hat already, and I walked out the house. Excuse me, I keep burping. And I forgot my coat on the banister. So I'm just like, oh my God, I'm gonna freeze. But when I went outside just now, it really wasn't cold. Like I had my hat and my gloves on, and I was fine. Like if I had a coat on, I would have been too hot.
I couldn't say the same. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was raised out here, so I'm used to it being hot and like at least warmer than this, even around this time sometimes. So I don't like the cold. I don't. And I would prefer to be somewhere that's like much warmer so I can just feel good. Cause yeah, child.
Did
I
you
literally just
today?
bought this shirt. I don't even have a whole bunch of like long sleeve shirts. I really don't.
You go outside today?
I did. Yeah, I went outside.
Oh,
I ain't going nowhere, but I stepped outside.
oh my gosh, it's nice outside today. To
It
me,
was nice earlier when the sun was out. It wasn't bad.
yeah. Please.
Hmm.
In
So
Delaware,
Louis Way is asking, where do you live?
Delaware.
Okay. He
Yeah.
said he's in New York.
Oh
Hmm.
yes, it's freezing. Like it's if you were here, I don't even know what the temperature is here, but it feels like maybe like 50 degrees here. I don't know.
Let me see.
Definitely not like I think in Delaware when I left it was like in the 20s. So this feels good.
It's actually 39 degrees.
Okay. And I was out probably like
Hmm.
2, 3 hours ago. Probably was a little warmer. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Yes, I'm
I'm
glad.
sure coming from where you were, the
Yeah,
temperature difference
yep.
probably most definitely feels better. Yeah.
That's why you gotta
Hmm.
understand the source. Where I'm coming from, it's freezing, freezing.
Queen said, "How did you forget your coat?"
I when I was rushing out the house, and my coat was on the banister, and I just got in the car without it. What am I gonna do? Miss my flight for a coat?
I know, right? Yeah.
I was gonna look for one, but I didn't even make it to the store today. And then when I went out, I was like, "Oh, it's not even bad." So I may look for one tomorrow, but maybe not. I might just thug it out until I go back.
Mm. Okay, love. Well, I appreciate you so much for being here on the live. I hope this was enjoyable for you.
It was. It was fun. Friday night.
Yes. I know, right? Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you guys have an amazing night. Stay safe out there, you guys. Y'all have
Exactly.
a good one, okay?
Yep.
Bye.